Welcome back to Keyforge Indonesia with me, Schyse. And here we are continuing our KOTE9 series, and this one is going to be round 6. But before we get into the game, I want to give a special thanks to one of our supporter, which is Wichak. Thank you for your support for Keyforge Indonesia communities. And for you guys who are interested in Keyforge, you can join our community through the Facebook link below. And from there, we will guide you on how you can involve yourself further in the community. If you join our community, there are some benefits that you may get, like free decks or free Keyforge game accessories. And also you can test your skills as we are holding regular tournaments. And also if you can just play for fun if you want. And yeah, let's get into the game. So this game is between myself and the 20 Emperor Riku. And this game is adaptive format. So before the game start, we have a chain bidding process where me and the 20 Emperor Riku bid for his deck. And the result is the 20 Emperor Riku bid 6 and I pass it to Emperor Riku. So he's going to play his own deck with chain 6 and I'm going to play my own deck with 0 chains. Okay, so first if you notice the opening hand, this is not the best opening hand that we can have with this deck because we have basically 4 cards that it's not a good early turn play, which is the discard. There is Steering Grave, Gateway to this, Infernus, and Implosion. So here I didn't mulligan because I think having a 4 card efficiency is pretty good, although it's not, the usage of those cards will not be optimal, and I just want that direct destruction in Implosion and Gateway to this in case Emperor Riku will play some strong creatures right from the start, like Ultra Graviton. Okay. But of course the thing that is a bit wasted is Infernus here. So as you can see, I played in the Infernus first without using any of its effect, so I don't, because there is no Ember to lose at this stage. And then as you can see, I also deliberately destroy the Infernus with Implosion. So what you can do usually, you should just use Implosion without playing the Infernus, so you only destroy your enemy creature. But here, because I have Steering Grave, I want to archive my Infernus so that my Infernus will be ready to be played at any time. That's why I play the Infernus first and then destroy it with Implosion and then archive it with Steering Grave. So turns out Emperor Riku played Graviton on the second run, which was pretty bad, as it will be very efficient. Now Emperor Riku have 5 cards in the archive, and the Graviton itself have a very strong effect that can purge our creature. So the question is, how fast do we want to destroy this Graviton? We do have a way to destroy it using Gateway to this, but it's not going to be an optimal use of Gateway to this because we only destroy 1 creature and then we gain 3 chains. So the other option here is just to be more efficient and wait a little bit until the other creature from Emperor hands are played and just there are more creatures in the battle line, and then we can play Gateway to this to destroy those creatures. So I was just playing Ante for efficiency, and the 2 creatures that I had right now, Gloriana's Attendance and Peacemayer, is not a very, essential creature to be had on the board. So if we end up using Gateway to this next turn, I think it's going to be fine, as we don't lose our key creatures, but we can destroy Graviton. So Emperor Riku took all of his archive and to play another Logos, and he just played Eclectic Enquiry, and he archived Diametric Discharge, but I think he discarded the Diametric Discharge from the archive to purge our Pismire. And that's not what I was expecting, as he didn't play any creature, so I'm still still don't want to play the gateway to this, and instead I was just going to be efficient as possible and play Star Alliance. Basically, we are playing 5 cards with Star Alliance because Subject Kirby have the effects for me to be able to play Snaret also. And the New Frontier, I was hoping we can archive some card from New Frontier, which is also always this card. I always choose to archive this with New Frontier because there are a lot of crucial cards in this house, which is Painmail, Snatch, another Snaret. But we were unlucky here. There are no discard that we archive. Instead, we also discard a pretty strong card, which was Quintirino Flux. And now we have 5 creatures, so technically we have a stronger battle line right now. But I don't think it's going to be long, as the Emperor Riku had like 10 cards in his hand, and he can easily just play a couple of creatures. Maybe he just played Logos, and I believe there are no more Logos cards in his hand, so it's either going to be Shadow and Untamed, because he have another Logos card in his hand. He would have already played it the turn before, so he chose Shadow House to play, and he get quite the amount of Ember still with Red Penny, and he put back 2 of our creature back to our hand with Lights Out, and suddenly our board is not looking very good. And yeah, at this point also I was given the choice: either I can be efficient with Untamed, or I can try to just try to destroy the Ultra Graviton with this. And I think I made the mistake by playing this house at this point. So by playing this, what happened was I managed to prevent Emperor Rico from forging his first key by playing Infernus and reduce 3 embers from him. But then I think it was a pretty inefficient play from my side, only destroying 3 creatures from his side, and while the 2 of them is basically not a very essential creature or important creature that we need to destroy quickly, which is Red Penny. We only want to destroy the Graviton, but then the Graviton cannot even purge our card because he doesn't have any card in his archive to discard. So I think my line of thought was only to prevent him from forging his first key by using Infernus, and while I at it, I just destroy the board. While I actually have a two important creatures in the battle line, which is Subject Kirby and Snaret. Those two are pretty strong creatures. Maybe if I just wait for another turn and I played a little bit efficient with the Untamed card, 5 Untamed card that we have in our hand, we can draw more cards, and then we have a stronger board presence, as I should also be able to predict that he only have Untamed card in his hand, because after he took those 5 cards in the archive, he haven't drawn any new cards, right? And he already played Logos House and then Shadow House, so the remaining cards should be Untamed card. And as you can see here, the Untamed card was a pretty strong card. With the combo, he got 6 Ember in one turn. And so I can only play my Untamed cards also, and we have a pretty strong Untamed cards with Cephalois, Emberspine, Mongrel, and Dark Fairy, which the three of them pose a pretty big threat for Emperor Riku. Emberspine will have the effect so I can gain Ember each time Emperor Riku recharges Rip. Dark Fairy has a Skirmish, and the effect Fight Gain 2. Cephalois protect our Ember from being stolen by Emperor Riku, and we know that Emperor Riku have a lot of shadow card that can steal our Ember, so Cephalois is a pretty good protection. So Emperor Riku choose to play Untamed again and trying to clear our board, clear our annoying creatures, which was first Dark Fairy, and then he destroyed Emberspine also, and he also destroyed the Cephalois. The three creatures that is pretty important for this play actually, and he destroyed it while only playing one Untamed card from his hand, so he sacrificed his efficiency in order to control our creatures. And I think that's a pretty good move from him, because if he didn't do that, we may actually have a huge turn right now, but because he did that, and our hand is not good either, we have 2 Untamed, 2 Star Alliance, and 1 this, and I chose to play Untamed here and try to be fast, just to rip, and we end up discarding our Savage Class because we have more creatures than him, so the Savage Class was basically useless at this point. So if he didn't destroy our Untamed cards within the previous turn, we can have a lot of Ember generated with an extra 3 Untamed creature. But I think that was the right decision for him, and he kept his Shadow card, a huge Shadow turn with Red Penny stealing 1 more of our Ember. That's why he destroyed the Cephalois in the previous turn. And here our next moves can only be to play this, to play the Painmail, to play the Anguish and the Dark Minion, and we don't have a way to, and we are at a pretty dire situation at this point, because Emperor Riku is at 4 Ember on his way to the 3rd key, and we basically need our Ember control, right? Because just by playing House Shadow we can rip 3 times and then he gets 7 Ember. So one way to control is to play Anguish, so Anguish is pretty crucial here. If Anguish can just fight to one of Emperor Riku creatures and have some damage on itself, it can increase the key cost for Emperor Riku, and maybe it can buy us sometimes, or at least enable us to force our second key first. Because I'm assuming he still have some kind of Ember control, and I was right, because he still have the red penny, the second red penny on himself. That made us unable to force our second key. And again, I think right move from Emperor Riku to destroy our Anguish. And he now have 7 Ember. And our only Ember control is Starret, which is only can capture 1 Ember at the end of our turn. So with 7 Ember, he got the game. It's GG, I lost the game. Unfortunately, I think that I don't play as efficient as I can, I think, in this game. And with Emperor Riku second turn Graviton also, just I think it's going to be hard to beat second turn Graviton with this deck, especially when our draw is not pretty good either. Okay, so that's it for this KOTE9 video. This was round 6 and I lost the game, and by the time I played this match, my teammates Chris also lost his game, lost his Archon game. So basically we lost the round 6, and for us to be able to pass the group stage or at least goes to the playoff, it's going to really depends on our on the 7th round. We really need to win on the 7th round, so we can probably be the 3rd place of our group, or maybe if we are lucky we can also be 2nd. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and see you on the next video. Will be round 7, the last game for the group stage on KOTE9.